to fight number 6 of the evening, a 160-pound elimination bout. Let's meet the fighters. First, fighting out of the Dynamic Mortgage Concepts red corner, please make welcome Placido Chief Placido Montoya.
Our tail of the tape for this 160-pound fight, bout number 6 of the evening, coming to the ring. Mr. Placido Montoya is the elder at 33 versus 24 against Aiden Calvetti. Calvetti has a reach and height advantage at 6 foot versus 5'9", and pretty close in the records here, as it's 1-0 for Calvetti versus Montoya, who I said coming to the ring now 1-1. So interesting. Calvetti lists his style as counter puncher, so see how that works out.
And now, fighting out of the Larry H. Miller Nissan 104th blue corner, please make welcome Aiden Achilles Calvetti.
I always say one of the things that I most enjoy about getting to be part of combat sports is that I get to see these guys early in their careers and see how they were from the very beginning, and then watch them develop, watch them progress. One of our sponsors for this evening fights, Mr. Justin Gaethje, and his new combat gear sponsoring the fights this evening. I got to watch him from some of his very early fights, and now he's working his way toward UFC titles, so pretty awesome to watch these guys at the very beginning.
Fight number 6 of the evening is presented by Larry H. Miller Nissan 104th. Time to meet the 160-pound elimination fighters. First, fighting out of the Dynamic Mortgage Concepts red corner, from Thornton, Colorado, representing Fort Morgan Gladiators Boxing Gym, please make welcome Placido Chief Placido Montoya. And his opponent, fighting out of the Larry H. Miller Nissan 104th blue corner, from Colorado Springs, Colorado, representing Hustle Hard Boxing, please make welcome Aiden Achilles Calvetti. This elimination 160-pound bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Referee is Curtis Thrasher.
Okay, gentlemen, you received your instructions early in the dressing room. I expect you to obey my commands at all times, protect yourself at all times. Remember, fellas, anything below here is going to be low. Touch them up right now. Good luck.
Placido Montoya, wearing the all-black shorts, represents Fort Morgan Gladiators Gym, facing off against Aiden Calvetti. Mr. Calvetti, black and red, representing Hustle Hard Boxing. And as we said on the tail of the tape, Calvetti lists his style as counter puncher, so let's see how true that is. And Montoya trying to give his opponent a big push there. Montoya looks angry this evening. Very determined look on the face of Montoya. Calvetti, that height advantage, really obvious when they're in the clinch. There's the counter punches that Calvetti had talked about. Goes nicely to the body as corner asked for that. Montoya answers with a hard right hand upstairs. Corner of Calvetti asking him to use that reach advantage. They want him to stay outside. Montoya able to close that distance. He had his opponent tied up a little bit when he threw that punch. Referee Curtis Thrasher not too happy with it, gives a little warning, and again, a clubbing right hand from Montoya. He's coming over the shoulder of Calvetti nicely with that. Calvetti trying to get the jab game on point here, but Montoya able to close that distance. Works rights and lefts, head and body. Good job mixing it up here by Montoya. Calvetti's taking some hard shots, but he looks really calm in there this evening. 10-second clacker sounded. Montoya pressures forward at the end of the round, trying to put a stamp on it. The bell. We'll be back with the second.
Round 2 is presented by the Platte River Bar and Grill.
Montoya definitely trying to work the power game this evening. Everything he threw seemed to have bad intentions on it. Calvetti looking to be the more calmer of the two fighters, but got a guy pressuring forward, throwing hard. The judges like that. And here we see in the replay, Montoya stepping in, landing hard. Calvetti using that counter-punching game that he talked about, waiting for the strikes to happen and then hoping to have effectiveness off of that. Whistle sound to get those corner men out of there. Round 2, here we go. See if anybody apparently or seemingly changed up their game plans in between rounds, and immediately we see Calvetti trying to put a little more force on his punches. Montoya just has such a determined look on his face. Just tell he's gonna try to box your ears off. Goodness. Calvetti needs to be careful. He's opening his mouth a little bit as he steps in. Like, I'm not sure, maybe his mouthpiece isn't fitting well or something, but definitely don't want to have your mouth open if you take a hard shot. Corner of Calvetti saying, please don't back up, just work off the side. Montoya looking like the same game plan as he had in round 1. Step forward, throw some power, make your opponent feel it. Good up punch there from Montoya. Not quite an uppercut, was pushing it up with the knuckles forward, but landed nicely for him. Calvetti, I don't think that punch got him. I think his footwork was just messed up a little bit. Calvetti spent a lot of time messing with his shorts here. And both fighters slowing down just a little bit here as we approach the end of round number 2. But Montoya lands a shot that staggers Calvetti back a little bit. Calvetti gives him a smile, but there's the end of the round.
Round 3 is presented by Saratoga Casino Blackhawk.
Out here on the replay is Montoya willing to literally leap forward, almost Mike Tyson-esque, in bringing that right hand and just clubbing his opponent over the ear with it. Calvetti, to his credit, took it well, but you gotta say it was Montoya that was definitely landing the harder of the punches. Round 3 for bout number 6 of the evening. See if Calvetti changes anything up. I think the game plan of Montoya has been solidified. I'm going to step forward and I'm going to punch you in the face as hard as I can. Not a bad game plan. Calvetti put his reach to use there a little bit, but then he steps into Montoya's range, and we've seen that can be a dangerous place to be. Calvetti came across nicely with the left. Interrupted the attack of Montoya for a moment. Corner of Calvetti saying, please don't back up. And even though we can see a little bit of fatigue here on Montoya, he continues to pressure forward, put power into his shots, and continuing to work some combinations are both fighters. So late in the fight, nice conditioning by the fact that they're not just relegating themselves to throwing single punches. Referee Curtis Thrasher gives a warning for back of the head shots, and Montoya says, okay, I'll punch you in the face then. Calvetti snapped back the head of Montoya, but he took it well, continues to pressure. Good showing by both these guys. Definitely varied styles. Very different styles from these two. Makes for a nice matchup. 10-second clacker sounded. Montoya, as he's done all fight, continues to step forward. There's the bell. Good little bit of sportsmanship there. And grab a replay here for the third round and let the judges do their work. Replaying like we saw almost all fight long. Montoya pressuring forward. Calvetti waiting for his openings. Problem was the pressure of Montoya was so strong and so often, even when he was tired, he refused to slow down, refused to take any power off of his punches. And as I said, impressive by both fighters, their willingness and ability to throw combinations until the very end. So we'll give it just a second here for those scorecards to be totaled. Get the winner from Sean Patrick, and then winner gets a little time with Bailey Winters for their post-fight interview.
After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Mason scores about 29-28. Judge Kugler scores about 30-27. And Judge Beal scores about 30-27. Declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Placido Montoya.
Congratulations to
back with a winner interview in just a moment.
Placido Montoya goes home with the victory. He'll get to spend a little interview time with Bailey Winters now.
I'm here now with Placido Montoya. How do you feel about your performance tonight? Congrats on that win.
Oh, thank you. I feel great. It was so much fun. Woo!
Your opponent had quite a bit of a reach on you, but you were able to cover the distance, get inside, land some good shots. Was that the game plan going in?
Yes, I knew I had to beat that jab right away. He was going to throw that 1-2 straight down the pipe, and I knew I was going to have to beat him on that outside step, and he was doing a great job, actually, of taking a little more of it, advantage of it than me, but we still ended up getting the victory. I was landing more straights down the middle than he was.
Won a great decision tonight. What's going to be next for you?
We're taking another fight, I hope, on the Ring of Fire. I'm hoping. We'll see. We're just trying to get as much action as we can this year.
Sure. Anybody you want to thank tonight?
I just want to thank God first for waking me up every day, and my babies, they're my motivation, you know. They're not here tonight, but they will drive me every day. They will wake me up, keep me going. You know, that one extra round when you think you ain't got nothing in the tank, that's my babies, baby.
Congratulations on a great performance. We hope to see you back here soon. Great job.